English phonetic. What is a language? Language is a system of conventional spoken, manual, sign, or written symbols by means of which human beings as members of a social group and participants in culture express themselves. What two skills must the student acquire in order to master the sound system of a language? The first is comprehensible input, which is a fancy way of saying being exposed to hearing or reading something in the new language and learning to understand it. Comprehensible output is the second element, and unsurprisingly, it means learning to produce, speak, or write something in the new language. What is phonetics? Phonetics is the study of speech sound and their physiological production and acoustic qualities. What is acoustic phonetics? It deals with the acoustic properties of speech sounds. What is articulatory phonetics? Articulatory phonetics is the traditional method of describing speech sound is in terms of the movements of the vocal organs that produce them. The main structures that are important in the production of speech are the lungs and the respiratory system, together with the vocal organs. What is phonology? Phonology is the science of speech sound, including especially the history of theory of sound changes in a language or in two or more related languages. What is phoneme? Phoneme in linguistics, smallest unit of speech distinguishing one word or word element from another as the element P in tab, which separates that word from tab, tag, and tan. What are allophones? A phoneme may have more than one variant called an allophone. It means that a phoneme may have more than one sound, but it doesn't change the meaning. Example, city and city. In this example, the allophone is the T. Behind and behind. In this example, the allophone is E. Either or either. In this example, the allophone is E. What is an alphabet? An alphabet, set of graphs or characters used to represent the phonemic structure of a language. In most alphabets, the characters are arranged in a definite order or sequence. Example, A, B, C, etc. What is a phonetic alphabet? A phonetic alphabet is the alphabet used by linguists to transcribe the sounds of words and sentences. IPA, an alphabet developed in the 19th century to accurately represent the pronunciation of languages. One aim of the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, was to provide a unique symbol for each distinctive sound in language. That is, every sound or phoneme that serves to distinguish one word from another. What is the difference between broad and narrow transcription? The IPA can be used for broad and narrow transcription. For example, in English, there is only T sound. If there is a need to transcribe narrowly in English, diacritical marks can be added to indicate that the T is in the words tap, pat, and stem differ slightly in pronunciation. What is speech produced? Speech is produced when the air passes from the lungs down the airways, trachea, and through the voice box, larynx. This causes a vibration where the vocal cords vibrate and sound is created. What provides the airflow to support speech? The lungs provide the airflow to support speech. What is larynx? Larynx, also called voice box, a hollow tubular structure connected to the top of the windpipe, trachea. Air passes through the larynx on its way to the lungs. The larynx also produces vocal sounds and prevents the passage of food and other foreign particles into the lower respiratory tract. What are vocal cords? These are two elastic tissues placed in the larynx. They are joined at the front of the larynx at the level of Adam's apple and are capable of movement horizontally. What is the difference between a voiced sound and a voiceless sound? When a voice sound is produced, the vocal cords vibrate, while a voiceless sound is produced when the vocal cords are apart, so they do not vibrate. What is the glottis? The space between the vocal cords is known as the glottis. What is the principal source of modification of the airstream issue in the larynx? The human voice is produced in the larynx, whose essential part is the glottis, constitute the true organ of human phonation. Air from the lungs is forced during expiration through the glottis, vibrating the two pairs of vocal cords, which resemble two double membranous reeds. How can we divide the parts of the throat and the lower head that are accessible to the airstream? Well, it contains three sections: the nasopharynx, the oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx, which is also called the hypopharynx. How are the air passes above the larynx known? The epiglottis is a flap or cartilage located in the throat behind the tongue and in front of the larynx, and is usually upright, at rest, allowing air to pass into the larynx and lungs. What is the pharynx or pharyngeal cavity? Pharynx, Greek, throat, cone-shaped passageway leading from the oral and nasal cavities in the head to the esophagus and larynx. The pharynx also serves both respiratory and digestive functions. What is the greatest source of modification in the airstream? The emission of speech are produced by the phonatory apparatus made of the respiratory system, the larynx, the vocal cords, and the oral cavity. What are the articulators? Which are they? The articulating organs: lips, hard palate, jaw, uvula, pharyngeal wall, and the glottis finally mold that sound columna, transforming it into speech, sound, and articulation, that is, in phonemes, syllables, and words. How is the tongue divided? The tongue is a very agile organ of speech. It plays a very important role in articulating both consonants and vowels. The tongue is generally divided into parts for the sake of phonetic description. These parts are identified on the basis of their position with respect to the roof of the mouth, the back, velum, the blade, the hard palate, the tip, the alveolar ridge. What is the points of articulation? What are the points of articulations? Which are they? The point of articulation is the place where the vocal tract where articulation occurs. Lip, bilabial, labiovelar, labiodental. Coronal, dental, interdental, retroflex, alveolar. Dorsal, palatal, velar, uvular. Radical, pharyngeus, and glottal. Thank you for watching.